Welcome back, Megan.
Hi.
So last week we kind of set a goal for you to not run away from home. I would like to kind of discuss on how that went and see if there was any improvement from last session.
Yeah, I think I tried to talk to my parents a little bit more last week, and I didn't run away as much as I normally do. I just tried to stick it out, or I went in my room and just kind of closed the door for a while and was able to kind of calm down. So I think it went better last week than I have been doing, I guess.
Okay, so on a scale from 10 being the best of where you are and 1 being the worst, where do you think you lie on that scale with your parents?
I think last week I was probably a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things definitely went better, and we were talking a little bit more, which normally I just shut down. I just don't want to talk to my parents, so I just run away to my friend's house because it's just convenient to not have to talk with them about what's bothering me, because we just don't really get each other.
Right.
I feel last week they were able to listen to my side of things a little bit more, which helped, and I guess I could see where they were coming from a little bit too. So when we got mad, I just went upstairs and closed my door for a while, and then after some time had passed, we would try and sit down and talk without yelling and getting really heated. So I think things are better this week.
So how would others, like your parents and your teachers, be able to tell that things got better?
I guess just because I haven't been running away as much. I haven't been just kind of leaving. I mean, I feel normally when things get tough, or I just don't, it's just things aren't going my way, I just leave.
Yeah.
And so I guess by sticking it out more and trying to talk and work through it, I hope they can see that I'm trying.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least you're trying to, make a difference. And we did talk about working together, about making goals, and you set that for yourself. So it's good that you were able to kind of work on that with your parents and be able to not run away as much, because that tends to be your go-to. So you rated last session a 6, and what do you think this week we could be able to get to?
I mean, I'd like to get to an 8, just so that things are continuing to get better, because I feel when I'm not just running away or just kind of leaving, then I feel better, and I'm able to talk with my parents more. And obviously I want to be in my own room and sleep in my own bed. It gets really hard sometimes to just not want to leave when my parents can't see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and that's understandable. You kind of want to just get away from the situation that's going on. So what were some different things that you did to kind of make that difference happen from last week versus the week before?
I think at home I was just trying to talk to my parents more, and they were talking with me, and I mean normally they think I'm so ungrateful, and that I just kind of take advantage of them and what they do for me, and they're always just, they see it as that they're always trying to give me the best and trying to do things for me, and I see them as not really understanding me and where I am sometimes and what I need from them. So they think I'm really ungrateful for that. So I think I tried to be more grateful last week and just let them know that I do appreciate what they do for me, and I think that they were able to recognize that and then listen to me and where my frustrations are too, and we were able to meet in the middle a little bit. So that was really helpful, because normally we just butt heads, and that's when I'm I'm just done, I just gotta go. So being able to see each other's sides, I think, helped a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely good to kind of have that open communication, and that's what I know we've been trying to work on with you and your parents. They last session when they came in with you, we kind of talked about that, because they said that you also have trouble in school and you're not listening to them when it comes to your homework and being in class, and we've had some discussions about that, but we also voiced about open communication, which is what you would like as well. I kind of wanted to touch upon the school now that we've brought that up with what your parents said, and just want to see how that's been going for you.
School's been okay. I mean, there's like some times where I just can't stand a teacher. Like I just want to leave, and I just can't stand the teacher. But you know, there are some teachers that I like, and I'm able to like stay in class the whole time. So I feel like I'm doing okay.
Okay. So when is the problem absent or less noticeable for you in school?
When I'm like in my language arts class, I really like my teacher. She's really nice to me, and I feel like if I like have a question or if I'm having trouble with an assignment, I just feel like I can talk to her and like go up and approach her, and she's like willing to like, answer my questions and just take the time to talk with me or like listen to where I'm struggling. And I feel like my other classes, like science and math, like my teachers just don't have the time to like sit and help me figure it out, or like if I don't want to do like an assignment, I mean, I get that like they want us to do the assignment, but sometimes like I try to talk about like how it just doesn't really work for me, or I just don't get it, and I just don't feel like they want to take the time to talk to me about it. They just like get more frustrated with me than anything. So I feel like when I'm in my language arts class, then I like have the best chance of like staying and not getting frustrated. But math and science, I'm just really not. You know, I guess I'm really struggling there.
So that kind of makes you misbehave and not listen to your teachers.
Yeah, I mean, I just like ask to leave, or I'll just like go to the bathroom and just kind of hang out there for a while. And I don't know, sometimes I like go to the vending machine and get snacks, or I'm just out later than I should be. And they like always usually have to send someone looking for me. And now it's at the point where like if I ask to go somewhere, they like don't even want me to leave the room. And so then I feel like I'm just kind of trapped, and I don't know, I don't think anyone to talk to.
So how do you manage to behave so well in language arts versus your other classes? You said you have a lot of friends in school, so do you have any friends in your other classes that you could maybe...
Yeah, I have like some friends in my language arts class that like, you know, I just feel like there's more freedom in that class. Like I'm just allowed to like talk to my friends, and you know, I feel like with our assignments, like she'll like give us maybe like a topic, but we like can choose what to write about, and I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot more freedom. I can like doodle along with it, or I can like work on my poetry, which I really like to do, and it's just, there's just more choice than the other classes. And the other classes, I really just like don't get it. Like I don't understand how to like do algebra. It's just frustrating to me. And I get like really frustrated, and I don't feel like my teacher really talks to me about it, and I feel like all the other kids get it, and I don't. So then I just leave. I just get too frustrated.
So is there maybe like a tutor that we could try and get in contact with at your school that could maybe help you so that you're not as like, I don't want to say defiant, but you're not as, you know, not willing to pay attention in that class as you are your language arts because your teacher is always there for you?
Yeah, I think like if someone was there to like kind of help me and walk me through it, because my teacher just like doesn't have time. He's always like with the other kids, and every time I like talk to the other kids, I feel like they just get it. And like I sit next to someone who will sometimes try and help me out and explain it, but like I just don't. I don't know, it just like doesn't click for me, and I just don't get it. So maybe a tutor that like I could spend time with who will actually like show me what to do.
Now, do your parents at home help you, or is that another situation as to why you don't want to be home?
I guess I've never really like asked them for help. I guess like they get angry with me when I like don't do my homework, but I just like don't know sometimes like what I'm doing, and instead of like trying to like help me out with it, they just tell me to go do it, and I just don't know how to do it. But I guess I don't really like tell them that either. I don't really like ask for help or tell them that I don't understand it. So maybe they just think that I'm choosing not to do it, but I don't know how.
So how do you think that we could maybe make some goals to make some improvements for your scale-wise? You said that you were at a 6 this week, but you would love to be at an 8 with like your parents and the school and everything. So what do you think are some goals that we can kind of touch upon and work upon to make that happen?
Maybe like getting a tutor would be a good idea. And then like, I don't know, maybe talking to my parents about it, because I don't think they really know. And I think like my teachers just think that I'm like misbehaving and leaving, and they don't really know why. And I guess it's just because I don't get it. So maybe if there was like a tutor or someone that could like help me or like walk me through what I like don't understand, then I'd have less of a chance of wanting to leave.
Now what about at home?
I guess I could talk to my parents, and my my dad like really likes math. Maybe he'd be willing to like sit down with me and help me if I don't understand my homework.
So that's a good goal. You said your dad likes math. That could also be something that you guys bond over, which could allow your relationship to kind of increase and get better, which allow you to not run away as much.
Yeah, I just don't want him to be like frustrated with me for not getting it. Like I feel like if I tell them or I tell my dad that I don't like math and I'm like not good at it, then he's just gonna be like disappointed or like not proud of me.
Do you think that he would be like that?
Maybe. Because it's why I like don't really talk about it because they're like already like disappointed in me so much that it's like if I don't understand math, which is something that like he really loves, then I just feel like he's gonna look at me and think I'm like a failure.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think your dad would do that. Last session, he did seem very supportive of you, so I guess maybe try reaching out to him and see if he could help you with math. That could be some homework that we could send home with you today to kind of figure out if this could be a thing you guys could do together. You know,
maybe I could ask him.
that could help, enhance your math class and everything. Let's see, and you mentioned that language arts is your favorite class. So let's see, on a scale of like 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, what do you think your average is in that class?
Probably like a 9.
A 9?
Yeah, I'm really good in that class, and my teacher I think like really likes me.
Mhm.
She like never says that I'm like. She never makes me feel like all my other teachers make me feel, which is like an annoyance to have in class, and like I'm always just. They seem like more frustrated with me than anything. Like they don't really want to get to know me because they just, I don't know, they don't seem to really like me. But my language arts teacher, she always gives me like the time of day. Like talks to me, just makes me feel good about being there. Like she wants me there, and I think that's really helped me want to stay in the class and kind of work through things. And if I'm frustrated, like I just feel like I can talk to her, which is nice.
What kind of things does she say that kind of helps you be able to get through the class?
She really likes my poetry.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to read it, and sometimes she asks me to read it in front of the class, and because she seems like proud of me. She seems like she just enjoys hearing it and like genuinely cares about what I'm writing and what I have to say. And sometimes like my way of writing poetry is my way of escaping a little bit and just kind of like getting my thoughts out. And I think that she gets it. She just like sees that that's where I'm coming from, and even if like I don't talk to her about like what's going on or like the problems that I'm having, I think that she can kind of still gather that from my poetry, and she just like seems to have like a genuine understanding of what I'm going through and how life I feel like can be tough for me sometimes, and I think she really appreciates how I'm trying to work that out with my writing.
So she's very supportive of you and everything that you do in class. And now, do you talk to her about your other classes that you're struggling in, or?
No, I really haven't talked to her about my other classes at all. I feel like all the teachers are probably like friends, and so I don't know, I just haven't thought to do that.
No. Okay. Well, you are a very dedicated and brave individual, and I have said that to you last session as well, and it shows even bringing your parents in last session how brave you are and working through and being able to do these things with your parents and your teachers and kind of working towards all of that, and I think that's extremely important. I do kind of want to try and set a goal for next week for you to work with your parents and your teachers. Is there a certain goal that you would like to set to work with your teachers that you don't necessarily get along with that well?
I guess I could like try talking to my dad and like telling him how I'm really struggling with math, and then like maybe he'd be willing to help me with my homework and like things that I'm not getting in class, and then if that doesn't work, then maybe he would help me like find someone to help me after school or like in school, just so that I have like that support in class too. And I guess I'm like trying to talk to my parents more about like my feelings and like how I'm feeling, so maybe I can talk to them about like how school is really frustrating, so that they don't get mad at me about homework.
That's a good idea.
Because maybe they'll see that like I just don't really get some of it. Or maybe that'll help us just like kind of talk more instead of just like getting frustrated with each other. Because like I feel like last week, although things were better, like when we would talk, I would just like tell them that I was like getting my homework done and like working on it, but I really like was still having a hard time.
Mhm.
So maybe if I just like communicate with them on why.
Right.
And I guess, you know, maybe I could talk to my language arts teacher about my other classes and like how I'm having a hard time, and I don't know, maybe she would be able to give me some advice or tips on how to kind of like deal with my frustrations from like her perspective, you know.
Yeah, she could be a very good outlet for you, and maybe be able to even meet with you and your teachers to kind of go over what your struggles are and what potentially you could do to make those better. I think those are some great goals for your parents and for your teachers. I think this week we should definitely focus on that, and there should definitely be some improvement for next week. I'm going to ask what you think that you would rate this session versus last session. Last session you kind of rated it like a 4. So what do you think? Do you think you've accomplished more this session? Or
Yeah, I think I like feel better about going and talking to my parents and my teachers, and you know, just trying to make a plan on like how I can do better at home and in the classroom. And I guess like I know that I'm struggling in school, but like they don't necessarily know. So maybe if I can talk to them about that, then that will help things get better, and I feel better kind of talking about that.
right.
And like realizing that maybe they don't know why it's so hard for me.
Right, and like we talked about last week, if you don't communicate with them, they're not going to know.
Right.
So then your relationship won't get any better than what it is right now. You did say there was a lot of improvement with you and your parents. So I want to, if you're up for it, I want to try an experiment for next week, for like this whole week up until next session.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is every other day, try and thank your parents for something. Each of them, not just your dad, not just your mom, both of them. So it can be thanks for doing the laundry, or thank you for picking me up from school, or something like that. It doesn't have to be every day. I just want it to be every other day. And you can write it down in a journal. You can write it down in a chart. Do you have any other ideas that you'd like to kind of do for that, or?
I mean, like I really like writing, so maybe I could like journal it. Could I like write it down and then maybe like give them my writing at the end of the week?
You could. I would like to see if maybe we can do it vocally to open that communication and kind of be more open with them and kind of say, hey, like, this is what I'm thankful for. You know,
Yeah, I could try that.
that might make it easier as well when it comes to math. Like, hey, thanks, Dad, for helping me with my math homework. Or, hey, thanks, Mom, for doing the laundry. You know, just so that they're kind of aware that you're more thankful for what they do. Because that was a thing that they said in our last session, that they just don't think you're thankful for everything that they do for you.
Okay.
So, and there's a lot that they do.
Yeah.
So, it looks like you're doing very well. So along with that, I want you to observe the differences in the relationship, if anything improves, or if it decreases, or what. So you can write that down in your journal as well.
Okay.
And you can even make a chart of like differences versus, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just kind of make it so there's improvements
Okay.
with you and your parents. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can definitely like write that down. If you feel like that's just easier for me to do.
Yeah, and if it's, I mean, you said you like poems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you could even write it in poem format if that helps you.
Yeah.
Because you said that's important to you. Okay?
Mhm.
So is there anything else you'd like to talk about today, or?
I don't think so. I think my parents like having me home, so I think it's good that they want to have me home, and I'm gonna try just to not run away, and it feels better to be home. I think it feels good to be doing those things.
Good. So there is some improvement.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today, Megan. It was really nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
See you next week.
Bye.